boys, here we go. Taking this Tesla Model 3, brand new car, to Seattle, Washington. So, it should be a fun trip. It's gonna be a long trip, about, I think, 1,300 miles total. We're on to our first stop here, our first supercharger stop in, I think it's White Hills, Arizona. 222 miles away, 3 hours, and it's already telling me to keep it below 75 so that I don't run out of juice. But anyways, when we get to the supercharger, I will check in. Sorry for the noise, but see you in White Hills, Arizona. All right, just a little windy out here, but we're just outside of Las Vegas right now. So, the next shot will be the car here. There's the car, you can hear the pumps running. So we're just about 250 miles, 278 miles into the trip, I think. And we're supercharging. All right, this is a really good supercharger. Even with the AC running and stuff, 660 miles an hour, which is awesome. It's a 250 kilowatt hour supercharger here in, it's called White Hill, Arizona. But we're just about to the Nevada border, about, I think, 70 miles outside of Las Vegas. So we'll charge up, and I'm gonna take a little rest here and keep moving. All right, we are in Beatty, Nevada. A couple hundred miles north of Las Vegas. And this trip, we didn't do nearly as well. It is extremely windy, or it was extremely windy. But you can kind of see originally, the car was estimating that we'd get here with 22%, and then 15%, but you can kind of see the gray line. The gray line is what the car expected to happen, and the green line is what actually happened. So you can see right here, I was actually beating the car's estimate for a good portion of the trip, and then somewhere down in here, we started losing that. So at any rate, we are here. We are, let's see, 388 miles into the trip, 111 kilowatt hours, and we're averaging 286 watt hours per mile. So we're gonna bow real quick and get the cable hooked up. There's not a lot of people here. Beatty, Nevada, not a big Tesla place, but I'm thankful to have it here. Let me tell you. Oh, we gotta do something first. Lysol wipes. I was very fortunate to have somebody give me these for this trip. Thank goodness. Pretty gnarly. They got a lot of people on them. They're like toilet seats. But anyways, we're gonna clean it up here a little bit. Let's see if she turns on. Last place was a 250 kilowatt hour or something, 250 kV or kW. Well, this one's doing pretty good too. I mean, I would say this is probably a stage 2 charging area, not the stage 3. But anyways, there we go. We'll let her charge for a little bit. Oh, here comes another Tesla. Another Model 3 right there. Coming to charge. this stop, we're only going to charge to, I think we're going to put about, I don't know, probably 100 miles in it, and then try to head on to the next stop. So, shouldn't take that long. Conveniently, though, there's a casino right here. So, maybe, I'm going to go check the casino out. I think we're going to try to skip that next stop and see if we can make it all the way through. So, to Reno. So, we'll see what happens. Alrighty, we are in Hawthorne, Nevada. Strangest little town. Again, a supercharger out in the middle of nowhere. And I mean nowhere, like driving for 200 miles out in the middle of nowhere. Anyways, pretty much a windstorm the entire time I've been driving, so not real good on the mileage, but 200 miles took me down to 20%, and I was pretty much staying right on the speed limit. So 286, not the greatest. We're charging here for approximately, I think, 20 minutes is enough to get us to the next destination in Reno. So it says we're going to be 24% below, so I think I'm going to charge it to about a little over half, and then we'll be on our way. And then the next one is a really big one. So in Reno, we need to charge completely to get us to Klamath Falls, Oregon. So I'm gonna keep try to keep it right around 50% to try to get to Klamath Falls basically with as little as possible. In Reno, Nevada, after a very, very stressful trip. And it was stressful because if you've never owned a Tesla before and you don't really know, what does 5% mean exactly? I charged, as you saw in the last clip, I charged about 10% higher than what it recommended to get here. And immediately when I started heading that way, I hit a little traffic, and it started giving me warnings saying you need to slow down. It was a 70. I could only go 55 miles an hour, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, Lord almighty. So, but I almost went back to the charger, but there was an accident, so I couldn't turn around. It would have been worse. And then I started looking for places to divert to. And I found a few that were kind of off the beaten path, but it would have just put me way out of the way. And it basically said that I was going to be negative 5% when I got here. Eventually, after driving around and they put me through some neighborhoods and all kinds of weird places, and going way under the speed limit, I finally started seeing that I was going to make it with 5%. It actually started going up, so that is good news, and I did make it. But boy, oh boy, that was stressful. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in a place I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what the Tesla's going to do when it runs out of power, if it runs out of power. I don't know what 5% means. So, well, anyways, we're here for, I think it wants me to charge for pretty much, I got to fill it up. I basically got to go all the way to make it to Klamath Falls. You can see right there it's saying 74% negative. So I at least got to get that, and then I'm just going to go for full tilt 100% and see what happens. So I will re-queue this up again when I get done charging and take off. I might take a little nap here, actually, since we're gated. Or maybe go gamble. I don't know. I'll probably nap, though. Alrighty. Dude. This is all from coming out of Hawthorne, Nevada. There's like a lake there, Walker Lake. And, I mean, it was so bad, I couldn't even see out my window. What the hell is what are these things? Oh my God. Look at that. That is insanity, man. Little update here. So, just got done charging. I did charge it to 100%. And it is saying that we'll make it to Klamath Falls, Oregon at 15% left. So it's going to be another tight one for sure. Yeah, anyways. Check in when we get there. It's midnight, 12 at 11. So it's going to be a long ride. I may stop and sleep for a little while somewhere. I don't know. But the car uses battery when it's sleeping, or when you're sleeping, so probably won't have the ability to unless I can find a charger along the way. So see you in Klamath Falls, Oregon. All right, boys, long night. Whew, man, oh man. So let me tell you a little story from the Tesla category. So Tesla's maps routed me through the corner of the better part of communist California. Okay. And, which is fine. I left Dawsonville or whatever the hell that place was. And all was good, at the next supercharger. And then I filled all the way up, because the Tesla map said, hey, you're going to have a long stretch through, you're clipping the corner of, the communist nation of California, and there's no superchargers there. So you got to go 260 miles or something on a charge, which shouldn't be a problem if you're maintaining speeds and yada, yada, yada. Any freaking who. So it was about 2:30 in the morning. And I get to Susanville, California. I think that's what it's called, Susanville. I head up the freeway that it wants me to head up, and I start seeing signs that says 43 miles from here, the road is closed. But the Tesla map says your turn is 41 miles away. So I thought, should be good. So anyways, long story short, I end up driving about 44 miles in the air, or all the way up the road. Don't see one single car going my direction or the other direction. And I get all the way to the end of it, and lo and behold, there's cops there. The road was closed because there was a fire, because if you guys haven't heard, the Republic of Communist California is burning everywhere. And I was like, oh, damn, so what do I do? I told the cop, I ain't got enough battery to make it back, dude. Can you squeeze me through it? No. So they reroute me to another town called Aturi, I think it was A-U-T-U-R-I, or Alturi, A-L-T-U-R-I, something like that. And I start panicking because now I'm at 49%. This supercharger that I'm at right this second, which is the one I was heading to last night, Klamath Falls, Oregon, was 160 miles away, 150 miles away. So, and I have to double back southbound, southeast. So I head back southeast. I get on another freeway called 395. I start heading north towards Altuve. And the cop told me it's a small town, dude. I don't think they're going to have charging there. Well, I look on my phone, and sure enough, it says it has a destination charger, which, you know, I've heard. I've never used one. I've only heard that they can be very hit or miss. So I get to Altuve. It is like a ghost town. Literally, there's nobody there. And I see the charger on the map. So I try to find it. Can't find it. Drive around in circles for a few minutes. Finally, I get there, and lo and flip and behold, man, check this picture out. I'm going to insert right here. Boom. 2 chargers. One of them was working, the one with the charge point adapter on it. And I was so thankful, so lucky. There was no ratings or any comments online about it, so I made a rating and a comment on it. But, dang, man. Dang. Like, I was like, if this charge point doesn't work, I am screwed. Like, I'll probably have to tow my car out of here, honestly. So anyways, plug it in, and finally about 4:30 this morning, I get a couple hours sleep, wake up at 7:30 this morning to pretty good battery life, 70% or so, and here we be in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which, you know, Oregon's a great state. I'm from Oregon. I love Oregon. So anyways, now we are going to move on to Springfield, Oregon, and we need to get charged up here. So I also had a low air light come on, which is, I guess, normal considering I just came from Arizona, from the bowels of hell. This is kind of where I'm trending right now, about 276 watt hours per mile. Just about 1,000 miles into the trip. Got a few hundred miles left to go, but anyways, we're gonna get it charged up here, and yeah, it was a long night. I don't want to do that again. So, all right, check in at the next one. Boys, I'm a fading, no joke. We are currently looking down the barrel of, I don't know, 1,284 miles. Sorry for the shaky camera, I'm driving. Yeah. So the last stop was in Woodburn, Oregon. Woodburn, and I chose to go to Woodburn over stopping earlier in Oregon because I felt like I could make it. I made it there with about 5% battery left, so not too bad. Pretty uneventful, that's why I didn't record it, but yeah. Really underwhelming supercharger sitting next to an Elmer's restaurant and an Arby's restaurant. So pretty lame, pretty dirty, and they were the Gen 2 chargers. So I was supercharging and it was all full pretty much, but I was supercharging for a few minutes. Walked away to use the restroom and get a drink, and came back, and my car had stopped charging for some reason. So, wasted a bunch of time, was a little frustrated, but anyways, we are now on our way through Portland, Oregon, right here. We're right outside of Portland, Oregon, going north on I-5, Interstate 5. For those of you that don't know, Interstate 5 runs north and south. I only charged up, I think, halfway, and we're gonna go to Tumwater, Tumwater. It's a 250 kilowatt charging Gen 3 charger. Yeah, welcome to Portland. But we're gonna go there because it's just faster speeds, and I feel like I can stretch it. If for some reason this traffic goofs me up or something, I will stop in Centralia or Kelso. You know, last night Tesla tried to kill me by routing me through a forest fire in the middle of the night, but I had to backtrack with no cell service, and I found an obscure little destination charger out in the middle of nowhere where there absolutely should not have been a destination charger, but there was, and I got lucky. But one thing I've learned is, you know, I've had this car since the day before Mother's Day, so what is that? I don't know. 3 months? I don't know. But and up to this trip, I had put on this car about, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 miles. I've been driving it quite a bit, and it just feels like every day. You know, I leave my house. I don't charge 100% every day, but even when I do, even when I don't, it doesn't matter. 250 miles, 299 miles. Lately, it's been showing about 288 when I full charge it, which has been bugging me. Because it's an advertised 299 and it's already dropping pretty drastically. Anywho skis. One thing I wanted to point out here is it just feels like, you know, I drive 20 miles to work, 20 miles back, and that's not what shows up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, 40 miles when I'm showing 288. You know, you should have somewhere around 244 or something.
Take exit 299B on the left onto Interstate 405 north toward US 26 west.
Okay. But anyways, you just feel like you should have, you know, somewhere in the vicinity, just being able to deduct what you drove that day. But it doesn't ever work out that way because the car is using power differently, right? And it's using it to cool the cabin, especially in Arizona. And even when I have ran it down to, you know, 10%, I think is the lowest I've had it, it just never feels like I'm getting what I'm actually driving, which is strange. So, what's good on this trip is multiple times I've ran the pack all the way down to 3 to 5%. And then charged it all the way back up. And one thing I've noticed is the car is starting to estimate what mileage I'm getting, and it's starting to match what my expectations are, if that makes any sense. So, like today when I left the California stop, the Klamath Falls, I had a 200 and, you know, it went ahead and said, yeah, your next stop is, it skipped a couple superchargers and said, yeah, your next stop is 260 miles away. And it hadn't done that before. It was making me stop more frequently. I think the more that I start running the pack up and down, it's starting to get more confident with the range that's there. So that's one thing. The other thing I've noticed is when I was in Arizona and Nevada, and maybe even California, when I was driving, if I was driving 70, 80 miles an hour, the pack was just, I mean, I could just watch the mileage just drop. And one thing is for sure, this 60 to 70 degree weather it's optimal temperature. I don't know that for sure. I've just noticed that it has made a huge difference. You know, I can go 60, 70 miles an hour and it's just not plummeting the numbers like it was in Arizona. When it's 115 degrees outside and when it's really, really hot outside, I think it just does not appreciate, it just loses its charge. It must lose efficiency in the heat. I'm not totally sure, but anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you. Definitely the temperatures play a factor into it. And the more you run, the more you can run the pack down to, the bottom to the top, I think the more that it makes, it notices a difference.
Now
So,
take exit 299
all right,
on the
check
left.
in on the next one. So it's taking me out and around traffic here, which is cool because it's kind of funny actually. I lived in the Northwest for many, many years, and I've never taken this bridge over the Columbia River here out of Portland. I didn't even know it was a possibility. I always sat in I-5 traffic, but this is what Portland, Oregon looks like. I didn't go downtown in charge for obvious reasons. It's pretty gnarly down there. A lot of people rioting, etc. Federal soldiers downtown, etc. So kind of a funny, maybe not funny story, but if you guys, any of you remember Occupy Wall Street, I was actually down here for that. I was here on I lived in Seattle, and I came down for a business trip, and I was in
the exit on the left toward Interstate 5 North.
and I was in my hotel room in downtown Portland in the Sheraton, and it was the first time I'd ever seen a Tesla in person. They had a Model X towing a Airstream trailer from California that they had on display in downtown Portland. Anyways, I was in a suit and tie, for work, and I walked down to go to the store, and I didn't hear nothing about anything going on. And before I knew it, I was just absolutely swarmed by these protesters, these Occupy Portland people. The beginnings of Antifa, before Antifa was a thing, they were like all around me, all over me, calling me a fascist, this and that. Anyways, pretty crazy though. But I go back to my hotel room, and I'm looking out the window, and there was thousands of people just surrounding my hotel. Look at that thing. What is that? What is that thing? Freaking Portland, just goofy as hell. Look at this guy in a freaking helmet. How funny. Anyways, but so kind of the first time I ever saw a Tesla was also the first time I saw I was like in the middle of that swarm, and we were kind of stuck in the hotel all night because of it. They wouldn't let us go outside because they were like basically being violent towards anybody that they saw as the the quote unquote the man. I guess I was the man, I don't know, but anyways, pretty interesting. But yeah, so I've been to Portland a gazillion times, and I never knew that you could take that bridge out of here, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm already in Washington as we speak. I'm in Vancouver, Washington as we speak, as a matter of fact. So actually I'm on I-5 already, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, we'll check in when we hit Tumwater, and we'll give her the last little push of battery, and that should be the last time I charge on this trip. I'm going to a place in Washington. I'm actually not going to Seattle. I'm going to a place called Poulsbo, Poulsbo. It's where I went to high school in Poulsbo, and going up here to see a lady friend that I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, so good times. I wonder what that guy's car is behind me. I bet you it's a Miata. It looks like a Miata without the body on it. But yeah, he's wearing a freaking helmet. He's pretty much right behind me. Pretty funny. Damn, Portland people are so strange. But anyways, yeah, the Tesla's been great. I mean, honestly, I got no complaints. My only complaint really has been the mapping system, which, you know, I know lots of people have issues with, and like this right now, it's cramming on the brakes for no reason. I don't know why. You know, I find that when it gets around semi trucks, it gets goofy. It doesn't like them. It starts, you know, grenading the brakes. I noticed too today when I was driving, like on 2-lane roads, like if a semi truck is like coming at you, oh man, like if that truck is even close to the center line, it does not like you. It will. I mean, I had it about throw me through the windshield a couple times, just grenading the brakes. But anyways, we will catch up in Tumwater. Here's one thing that's changed since I was up here last. I mean, look, not to get political here, but there is just people in tents, like all over the landscape. Anywhere there's green, like grass, there are people sleeping in tents. I don't know if you can see that, but and let me tell you, as somebody lived in the Northwest, look at that. I mean, look, nice tents too. Jiminy Christmas. But as somebody lived in the Northwest, let me tell you, I cut it off there, but let me tell you, as somebody that's lived in the Northwest, these are not people that have to live in tents. These are, see, there's more there. They're all over the place. I mean, I've never seen so many. This is more than I've ever seen. But these are not people that have to live in tents. There are people that are choosing to live in tents. There's more right there. They and you see the signs all graffitied. There's more right here, tons of them, right? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so these are people that are choosing to live in you know, in tents. They call them tent cities here. They're all over the Northwest now. When I lived here in 2016, when I lived in Seattle in 2016, there was a tent city, one single tent city, and mostly consisting of genuinely homeless people. Now what you see is a lot of people that are making a personal life choice to live in a tent, which is great, which is fine. But it's like they used to seek out a plot of land, and oftentimes people would donate land to them and let them sleep on their land. And the reason I know that is because I used to be in charge of a property that allowed a tent city to operate on it. So, but yeah, I mean, these people are choosing to live in these tents. These are the same people that are downtown, you know, rioting. You know, they set up a tent and they'll basically camp out and then go riot at night and sleep during the day. You know, it's just crazy. It just is not good for the economic side of a city. You know, if you're going to open a business here, like, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to, you know, are you gonna want to open a business where if there's a tent city living outside your door? I don't know, but there's I was gonna say, it was kind of goofy. It actually, just while we were sitting here chatting, I saw that it asked me to do a lane change into the wall there, but so interesting. But yeah, so it's just, you know, it's kind of a sad state of affairs. The city of Portland, the state of Oregon, they're both. I love Oregon. I grew up in Oregon, and you know, just politically speaking, it has just changed so much. I mean, look over here. I don't know if you can see that, but that whole bridge right there is covered in tents, covered in them. So, you know, pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know if I can't zoom in that far, but yeah, pretty nutty. You know, and again, I don't care about people's personal choices, but you know, it's like when you're talking about business that is needed to, you know, create taxes and create jobs and et cetera, it's like, you know, is that the right thing to do? I mean, you know, it starts encroaching on other people's livelihoods. But anyway, I will shut up and get back to driving the car. But I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing as I'm driving through Portland, man. Just tons of tents. It's crazy. All right, we are here. We are at the Pilot in Tumwater. This last go around here, we were clipping. I added to the wood. I wasn't trying to conserve it all. So we are down to 6%. We're going to supercharge here. We're going to go to 100% because after this I won't have another chance to. So that's it for now. All right, boys, we made it. She's been through a preliminary car wash, but man, I got freaking bugs. I've never seen so many bugs on a car in my life. But I gotta go one more time. But 1,400 miles total, and I'm here in Suquamish, Washington. Suquamish. But yeah, car made it. It was a long trip, man. I ain't gonna lie, to drive by yourself. But pretty much short of the little disaster that happened in California, there was pretty much uneventful after that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Check you on the next one. I keep wondering about some clever sign off, you know, stay charged. I think my closeout's gonna be plug it in, stick it in. How's that sound?